UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Welcome to UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Ralph Irvin alongside Stephanie Wetmore. Coming up, we're going to get our feet on the grass as we talk golf as well as football.
UCLA has some very exciting upcoming events. Let's take a look.
Ryan Ressa is entering his first season as the assistant golf coach for the men's team here at UCLA. Prior to his time at UCLA, he spent 2 years at Duke, where he helped the Blue Devils finish 14th nationally at the most recent NCAA championships. Former player at Washington State, he also coached Ed Pullman, as well as at the University of San Diego. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Welcome to Westwood, and what is it that brought you back here to UCLA?
Well, it's good to be back. I've never spent time in LA, but there was a lot of things that brought me back to Westwood. One, my former coach I went to Duke with leaving, coming back to Washington to start a different job. My relationship with Derek Freeman, who I'd known for probably 3 years since he took over, and just the lure of UCLA and everything I'd known growing up in the Pac-10. Obviously, I grew up in Pullman, Washington, and UCLA was kind of always the dream school, if you will, and kind of up on the pedestal. Knowing a little bit about Coach Wooden and watching UCLA come through when I was a young boy, kind of watching Pac-10 sports, and they were always the best at everything. So it had always been kind of a dream to come here to Westwood and to help. And that once I got into coaching, it was a perfect match when this thing opened up for me this summer.
What do you feel you can bring to the program, your strengths as a coach, to help everybody else?
Well, Derek and I both juggle a lot of different aspects of the program. One thing that I'm going to take over is academics, which I feel pretty good about. Being at University of San Diego and Duke, both tough academic institutions, we were able to kind of help the guys manage their time and juggle the classes. And the golf takes a lot of time. So I think academics are tough, and especially at UCLA, we have a tremendous academic institution. So I want these guys to be able to feel comfortable in the classroom, and that translates on the golf course. When it comes to athletics, I think maybe a little bit of fitness background. I know a lot about the way golf is going in that direction. And the short game, I think, is another part that we focus a lot on that I feel really comfortable in my abilities to teach, help the guys learn new shots, because ultimately that's the most important part of golf, I think, at this level. So.
Well, one thing for sure is, people don't realize just how much time it does take in terms of practice preparation that players have to juggle with
Absolutely.
their academic schedules.
Absolutely. We have 20 hours a week given to us by the NCAA, and we maximize that. And golf takes a long time to play. I mean, it's a 4-hour round of golf when we go play. We play 4 days a week. Right. So these guys have a lot of challenges, and they're in the classroom just as much, and they need to study outside the classroom at the same time. So I want to help them manage their time the best I can. I think we've had a lot of success at that over the past 4 or 5 years where I've been, and that's going to be a huge part of my role here, especially in the fall.
Now, of course, you were a player at Washington State
Right.
in the Pac-10. How does that help you in terms of being a coach here at UCLA?
I think playing in the Pac-10, just knowing what to expect. Obviously, the schedule we play at UCLA is much, I'd say, tougher and more diverse than what I played at Washington State. I mean, we go all over the country here at UCLA. So I think it gets back to managing your time and helping these kids focus on what's important and you know, how to kind of divide up your time when you're traveling. We're on the road a lot. So it really comes down to managing your time, and that's ultimately what makes you successful, I think, on the golf course.
It's only the fall now, and the season's not until the spring. But what do you feel like the goals are even for the entire year?
Well, the goals are for us, for our team, are to just get better every day in everything we do. And that's, you know, everything we do means academics, you know, our fitness, and on the golf course. So we're going to start slow with that. We're going to set weekly goals with each player. We have a team meeting on Mondays where we just kind of go over our goals for the week so we can really focus on how each of us is going to get better, all the way down to Derek and I as coaches. We'll sit there with them and write our goals and focus on those, and we'll have team meetings where we discuss all these things. So the fall is going to be a really light time for us, which is going to be good. Traditionally, the golf season's been broken up into kind of 50-50 in the fall and the spring, but the championship season is the spring. So I think Coach Vincent 3 or 4 years ago decided to play a lot of golf in the spring, and they tried it. They played 3 events 2 years ago, and it worked great. And that's the year they won in 2008. So we're kind of taking the program back to the mold we had in 2008. I say we, but I wasn't here. But I know a lot about what Derek was doing, working with his former boss Odie at UCLA or at Duke. So we're going to try to go back to that mold, play a light fall to give these guys time to recuperate from a busy summer. We have a lot of young players, and they play a lot of golf in the summer. They play, you know, every other week almost. So we want them to come back and have a chance to adjust to LA, to UCLA, and to really work on parts of their game. Because what happens is, in my opinion, in the golf season, you hit the ground running in the fall, and you never really have a chance to work on parts of your game and develop different aspects. So we want to have almost like a training camp in the fall.
Okay.
Football has kind of their spring ball where they work on things like that. We want the fall for us to be like a training camp. We'll play twice, and they're separated by about a month. So we'll go play in the desert in October, first part of October, and then have a month before our next tournament at Cordoval, our home event. So we're trying something new. That's a lot of golf in the spring, but I think we're going to shake the rust off really early in the spring. We'll have played, you know, 8 or 9 events by the time we hit Pac-10 championship, so we should be the sharpest team out there, in theory.
Well, and again, you talk about the amount of time that it takes to practice, but the players, being the nature of the way golf is, they're going to play and practice a lot on their own if they can, as much as they can. You mentioned the summers. People don't realize how many amateur tournaments or even attempts at PGA qualifying that the players will do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And golf takes a lot of time. And these guys just play every day. I mean, that's what they do. And that's what we've tried to recruit is guys that are hardworking kids. And that's part of the package you get when you recruit. You're trying to find the best talent, obviously, but you're trying to look at work ethic at the same time.
And people who just plain love to play.
Absolutely. You got to love the game of golf. And it's easy to get burned out, I think, because it takes so much time, like you said. So we want to find guys who are fresh when they come in, who are eager to go practice and play, and we don't need to instruct. You know, we have 20 hours, like I said, but these guys are going to play outside of the 20 hours on the weekends, and at all hours, having an on-campus practice facility, they can go out there and putt anytime they want. It's close to the dorm. So that's been a huge addition to our program, so we're excited about that.
What can people expect out of this year's team?
That's a good question. I've been here for 2 months, so I'm still learning the team, but I know a lot about these guys. I mean, recruiting nationally at Duke, I got to follow a lot of these guys that are on our current team. We have 2 new international players coming in who I watched over the past couple of years. We have a very young team. I mean, we have 1 junior, Connor Driscoll, and we have 3 sophomores and 5 freshmen, I guess, 1 redshirt freshman. So it's going to be a young team. I think we have a nice group of guys who we can mold and coach a lot. I think it's going to be very exciting for us. But I think we're going to go up and down a little bit. We have a lot of talent, but these guys are just, a lot of them are inexperienced at the college level of traveling a lot and juggling, like I said, academics. So hopefully we can get off on the right foot in the fall and really hit the ground running in the spring. But I think we have one of the most talented teams in the country, no doubt, but on paper. But golf is not played on paper, as we know, as no sports are.
Golf doesn't really have the luxury like some other teams of playing on campus. How do you think you can get people to get out and watch the guys play?
That's a good question. We've added an additional Southern California tournament this year, and unfortunately we host our home event up in Northern California, so that's tough to get to. But we do play in USC's tournament, which is in March, beginning of March, and we play, there's a new tournament called the Battle of the Beach down in Long Beach, or Newport Beach, I guess, at Pelican Hill in February. So we have 2 events kind of close together, a couple weeks apart. I think we'll just do our best to advertise those and let people know that we're going to be out there. We've done a good job with our boosters to try to show them where we're going to be and invite them out. But golf's an interesting sport to watch. You know, it's not that popular at the college level yet.
Right.
But there's some things we're doing within our organization to try to create some popularity with it, and trying to bring it to TV and things of that nature. So,
well, it's the beauty is that if you want to go and support the team, it's free.
It's free. It's easy to access.
You're seeing great players. I mean,
Right.
You're not looking at really second-level players. They're able to play. They're playing from the full tips, and they're really challenging a lot of these courses.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's the other part about it, there's 15 teams at these events, so there's a lot of great players. I mean, there's going to be 8 to 10 PGA Tour guys, probably most likely in these tournaments we're playing in, and
Right.
all our guys have the potential to be out there. So it's a lot of fun to come watch if you know kind of where we are and how to get there. It's a good spot. So.
Now, you talk about the young roster on the team. I imagine it's going to be quite a battle to get in that rotation of 5 players.
It is. With 9 guys, we're going to go back to, like I said, 2008 system where we always have guys playing in tournaments.
Okay.
So 5 guys will be on the road here, one place, and we'll take 4 other guys to another tournament to give everybody, ample competition. I think that's really important. But we're going to base a lot of our qualifying on competition and how you play in tournaments. I think that's the most important part of determining your lineup is how you play when you're on the road. So it is going to be a pretty competitive group of guys. There's nobody that's kind of set themselves apart, and all 9 of these guys can play for us in the end of the year. There's no doubt about that.
When the coach sets the 5 players or the 6 players that are going to play, does it change around it a lot, or is it kind of set once it's set?
It's going to change a lot for us this year. We're going to have a bunch of different lineups, and it's set for the current tournament, and then based on the results of that tournament, we'll move forward, and whether we have a qualifier, like I said, we'll send another group of players to a different tournament. If a couple guys play well there and a couple guys play bad at this event, we'll kind of swap them in and out. We just want to give our guys the best opportunity to get better, and I think that's through competition. So our lineup's going to be different a lot this year, I'd say.
And again, in seeing that, you definitely give them the opportunity to play themselves back into form with their game, as well as to show that they can compete against circumstances. It could be that the B team, for lack of a better term, gets a better challenge to really show their skills.
Absolutely. We want our guys to know how, what the emphasis is for us, and it's playing well in tournaments. And ultimately, we want to win. We want to win the national championship every year and have a chance to do that. But I think you develop these guys through competition. Our guys understand that it's not determined how you play back at Bel Air when we're playing on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. It really matters what we do when we tee it up in tournaments. So.
How do you see the team within the Pac-10? I know SC's been strong in the past.
SC's really strong. The Pac-10 is the strongest conference in the country. And, I was out on the West Coast before I went to Duke, and when I got to Duke, everybody thought the ACC and the SEC were the toughest conferences. I got to see those conferences firsthand, and I know right now coming back that the Pac-10 is the best. They're about 9 teams deep, and I think the best teams are probably, I'm going to leave us out of this because I think we're young, unfortunately, but I think SC's good. I think Washington and Stanford are 2 of the top 3 teams in the country, in my opinion. They didn't lose anybody. Washington's ranked 2nd right now, and Stanford's very good, a very good incoming class, and SC's right there with them. So we're going to have our hands full, not to mention the Arizona schools, and Cal's a lot better this year, and Oregon State. I mean, I could go down all the way down the list. It's going to be a dogfight. So I don't know where it's going to shake out. That's the funny thing about golf. On paper, we look really good, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, and there's plenty of time until championships decided.
Absolutely.
And get them pretty soon. Well, Coach Ryan Ressa, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I want to thank Coach Ryan Ressa for joining us here on UCLA Bruin Talk. Coming up, we're going to hit the gridiron, talking some football with UCLA starting tailback Jonathan Franklin. It's all ahead right here on UCLA Bruin Talk.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions meet here.
Welcome back to UCLA Bruin Talk. Coming up, we're going to talk football as we hit the gridiron and talk to Jonathan Franklin. But first, Stephanie has our Athlete of the Week.
This week we honor Shannon Murakami of the women's cross country as our Athlete of the Week for winning the women's 5-kilometer race at the BYU Autumn Classic. Winning this event helped bring the Bruins in a third place in their 2009 season opener. She finished with enthusiasm, crossing the line a solid 30 seconds before her closest competitor. This is not her first moment in the spotlight, having showed her talent early on, being named the Bruins' #1 runner in the Dillinger Invitational, as well as the most valuable freshman. Now a junior, Shannon also has an impressive drive as the #4 runner in the 2008 Pac-10s. Congratulations on your achievement, Shannon, and good luck to the rest of the team. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, please call our fan phone line at 310-825-8575 or visit our website at www.uclabruins.com.
Jonathan Franklin is a redshirt freshman on the UCLA football team. He's already earned a starting role as a tailback, and in his first carry with the blue and gold, he scored a touchdown against San Diego State. He's also a local product coming to UCLA out of Dorsey High School here in Los Angeles. Jonathan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to go back a little ways. The day you committed to UCLA, it was a lot of guys committing, including a high school teammate of yours and Raheem Moore, and you weren't even expecting to commit to go to college yet, were you?
No, I wasn't. I came in there, Dwayne Walker was just getting everybody together, just to talk to everybody, seeing where everybody was. And once we got there, we all seen the talent around. You know, we all known each other. We all known the impact we had on our high school teams. And after Dwayne started talking, the things he wanted to do around here, our teammates just start clicking. Like, this is where we need to be. And after one dude commit, the next committed. And then I was sitting next to Raheem, and we looked at each other, and we was like, this is where we need to be, and we committed.
When you look at the number of players that were in that room at that time, a lot of them make up probably close to a third of the starters that are on the team right now at UCLA. Right. I mean, that really changed a lot of the talent here.
Right. That class, that group, I think we really turned it around.
How does the team look for this year? What are your feelings?
We look good. I'm happy we got that first victory, but as you go to last year, after we beat Tennessee, we went to BYU and got blown out. So we're not really happy with, of course we're happy with winning, but we're not too proud. We're real humbled, and we're just getting prepared for Tennessee.
I would imagine that one thing you take out of last year is you're just going into every game looking to win. Just get one more win, one more win.
Right. We take it one game at a time, not looking behind it, not looking in the past. We just looking one game.
Now, I spent a lot of time out on the practice field during spring camps, fall camps. How good is it for you as a running back to finally be playing against someone else and not your own team?
Man, it's good, especially in camp. Every day, 2 days, going against the same people every day. I'm just happy. I'm happy where I coming from scout team to the starter. I'm just happy where I am right now.
Well, and you mentioned the scout team. You were honored as being one of the scout team MVPs a year ago.
Right. Just working hard. Me and Milton, we both won it, and we just compete against each other every day and just working hard.
Now, is that something, working as part of the scout team, that you use as developing your football skills, or just working hard to help the team in general?
Both. Of course, every day I want to get better, but then again, it's a team thing. So everything I do is for the team.
How does it feel to have Coach Newhasel, say that you're probably going to make the biggest impact on the team this year?
It feels good. I'm definitely humbled about it, but just from, like I said, coming from scout team to now being an impact player, it just feels real good. I'm just going to continue to work hard.
Now, I've met you a few times. You're a pretty humble guy. It's got to be interesting for you when people approach you because they see how you run, which is not quiet, which is not shy. You run hard and attack, that people come up to you and just think that that's the type of guy that you are, that you're just an aggressive, out front, really go-getter type of individual.
That's just how it is. Don't judge a book by its cover, I guess.
Now you're playing alongside another redshirt freshman, Kevin Prince, at quarterback, had a good first game against San Diego State. How's it been playing with someone that, again, was on scout team with you, and you've kind of been right alongside the whole time you've been on campus?
It feels good. We could really connect to each other because we've been in the same position, and now we're both starting. Then again, he's a quarterback. He has a lot of pressure on him, so we just really encourage each other to stick together. The whole offense, we have to be a family because we're real young on the offense, from the offensive line, from the quarterbacks, the running backs, the receivers. we just really have to stick together, and we're gonna make mistakes, and we have to understand that. But just stick together and encourage one another.
You spoke about pressure. How did it feel last week doing your first start ever?
Man, it was nerve-wracking. You know, from leaving the hotel to the whole locker room, I was just nervous. You know, my heart couldn't stop beating, but I had to understand football is just football. No matter what level it's gonna be, it's just football. And I just being a ball player.
And I would imagine that just sliding into this whole UCLA system, you'd been in the environment before, but it was totally different once you're stepping out between the lines, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a whole nother world now, a whole nother world.
One thing that people notice with the running back situation, you're the starting running back, but it is a very full team. I mean, you have guys slotted 1 through 4, but they're all pretty darn good, aren't you?
Right, we have running backs, probably any of our 4 running backs that start on the team right now. We have some real good running backs. So if one comes out, we have another one who's could tote the rock. So it's very good to have what we have.
And the coaches must like the fact that you're all kind of different. Everybody's a different style of back, and you're kind of more of a speed back. People really enjoyed seeing you in the spring and the fall because you'd break the long runs. But then there were other backs who were power backs and some that are kind of in between.
Yeah, it's very good, even in practice. You know, we all can learn from one another since we all different. I'm a speed, Derek is a power back, Milton is a shifty, and Damian Thigpen, he's real quick. So every day we're all competing, we all working hard against each other, but then again, we're learning from each other and we're getting better and better.
Well, you mentioned Damian Thigpen, or also your cousin on the team, Randall Carroll. These are 2 guys that are like state sprint champions. You probably thought you were fast until you lined up against these guys, didn't you?
Yeah, last year, well, my freshman year, I was the fastest dude on the team. And when they came, they just, man, they took the title from me.
That's simple. It wasn't even much that you could do about it.
Right, they're fast.
Talking a little bit about your personal life, you're from Los Angeles, but how has your life changed since moving to Westwood?
It changed a lot. Like I said, as far as different types of people around, my teammates, it's even from football, you know, just it's a whole nother world here. And just the way I approach things has to be totally different from how it used to be.
How was it though? Yeah, talk about the changing lifestyle. You come into UCLA with your teammate, guy that you've known since junior high, and Raheem Moore. That at least makes it easier in the transition, doesn't it?
Oh, right. Say, even if I have a problem, you know, I have somebody I could rely on, somebody I could go to, or I have somebody I know who's going through the same thing I'm going, you know, so it helps me out a lot.
And it also then makes you feel maybe a little more comfortable in tapping into some of the older players, veteran guys, who've been on campus a little while, and they know how to balance football and academics.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Like I said, we're a family, and we're all brothers, so if one fall, my brother comes along and lifts me up.
How's school been going for you so far?
It's going pretty good. When I first got here, it was kind of rough, you know. It's a total transition from high school, you know. You have to really understand how to balance your time and really take responsibility in things. So I'm getting used to everything.
One thing that you learn is, I mean, the competition doesn't end at the football field, does it?
Oh, not at all. It's in the classroom too. Just as much as you have to compete on the field, you have to compete in the class too.
After you're done with school, can you see yourself doing something, you know, what could you see yourself doing?
Man, other than athletics, probably being a motivational speaker. You know, throughout my life, I went through different high schools or junior highs to talk to kids, or right now I'm mentoring a kid at Inglewood High School, so just being a motivational speaker, you know, just helping people get to where they need to be.
One thing that I've noticed in being around the football program is that there are former players who come back and have that kind of relationship with a lot of the Bruins. I would imagine that also helps with the idea of going back and helping kids that are in high school and younger get ready to go to college.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I remember in the spring, Marie Drew, he came to speak with us, and he gave us a lot of advice, and just seeing what he did, him coming back, you know, the things he's doing, that was inspirational, motivational. So.
And the funny thing is that these players will come back, and how much do they even talk about football with you?
They do, but then again, they don't. It's more of, you know, get your degree, you know, try not to leave early, and just have goals and have plans. Don't just be a football player, be more than that.
And I guess that's advice that you could pass on to guys who are still in high school that are looking to play college football. is that they've still got to get their grades up and everything along the way.
Oh yeah, you never want to be limited in life. You always want to be more than just that guy, more than just that average guy. So be more than just an athlete.
One thing I did want to touch on, back to football, young guys, yourself, Kevin Prince in the backfield, but then you've got a pretty young offensive line in front of you. How has it been working with those guys this year?
We came a long way since last year. We have a group of guys on the line who loves the game of football, who wants to play football, who's aggressive. You know, I'm very comfortable with them. I like them. I love them. They're like my brothers.
Is it interesting playing for a coach like Wayne Moses, who has coached guys in the NFL, Marshall Faulk, for instance, and yet he's just doing the regular thing for you guys. He's just your coach. He's teaching you all the secrets.
Right. It's real interesting because Coach Wayne Moses, he knows what it takes to be on the next level. So I get as much advice as I can from him, and I listen to everything he says.
Looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be your first time starting on the road. How do you feel about it?
Man, I'm ready. I'm real pumped up about it. This will be a big winner. We're the underdog, so I'm just ready.
Would you rather play from an underdog position or?
Underdogs, definitely.
Yeah, always.
100,000 fans.
It's going to be a big crowd, but our goal is just to shut them up. Mm-hmm. That's our goal.
And get in there and take a lot of carries. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Coach,
definitely.
Just keep giving me carries.
keep feeding me.
All right, Jonathan Franklin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We want to thank Jonathan Franklin as well as our first guest today, which was Ryan Ressa from the UCLA men's golf team. Thank you for joining us as well. For Stephanie Wetmore, I'm Ralph Irvin. This has been your inside look at the UCLA Athletic Department, UCLA Bruin Talk.